So, Melissa, it's just kind of like a follow-up of our podcast last night.
Mhm.
One of the things that we were talking about was appraisals, houses not appraising, and really buyers overpaying at this point for homes, like being at the top of the market. There's a lot of controversy as to whether it is the top of the market or not the top of the market, but we kind of think it is the top of the market. As somebody that's been in the business, like I have for the last 32 years, from one aspect or another, history seems to repeat itself, and I think home prices are at its top. That being coupled with the fact that supply chain has just kept the prices high, the bidding high, because new houses just aren't coming to market. Are we sending the wrong message to buyers?
I don't think we're sending the wrong message to buyers. I think it's as long as you know it's a sign of the times and this is what's going on right now. I did have a question for you. I'm going to get back to that in a moment. In your 30 plus years of being in real estate, this appraisal gap, have you seen it? Because I know in different states, it's very common in California. It's been this way for a while, but this is something newer, maybe at least through this cycle. But I wanted to just get your thought on that really quick. Have you seen this before at this level?
I personally have never seen it. I do know that there are states where the appraisal gap, and guys, what we're talking about right now is where a buyer is willing to pay over asking price, or over, more importantly, over the appraised value or the appraised price that the bank's third-party appraiser has evaluated the property and said its value is, let's say, $300,000, and you're willing to pay $350,000, then the gap that Melissa's talking about, or the amount, that $50,000, is the appraisal gap, or cash, additional cash you're willing to come out of pocket to buy the property, to buy the house. No, I've never seen it before. I do know that it has been part of, our dialogue in every sale, it seems like, in the last 6 or 8 months or so. I think that's going to go away.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to go away too. Just as with everything, as we are, with COVID now, restrictions are being lifted and everything else. I think it's just the way the market is right now. But I think that, hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a settling out, a recorrection or correction, as you want to call it. And then we get back to kind of seeing things with the slow progression, not this steep incline of prices, not the craziness, not it's technically fighting, is kind of how I see it. Fighting, to get your offer accepted. That's my point. That's just where I think, that's my standpoint on it.
And I think my concern for the buyers is that, hey, sellers, obviously you want to get as much as you can for your property, but until the appraisals come up to speed with the value or the increase of 15%, like we saw from, in home prices across the nation, an average of 15% year over year from this time in 2021 to this time now in 2022, over 15% increase in sales price. Appraisals aren't keeping up with that. They look back 6 months, some cases a year. They're just not keeping up with those numbers. It's forcing our buyers to come out of pocket with cash that they don't have. My big concern for the buyers is that the affordability of housing is really becoming more of a dream than a reality. And buying a house is something that should be the American dream. Certainly, we've said that for my entire life. I've heard it. But I think more importantly, what's happening is buyers are stretching a little bit too far. So when I'm saying that, I think that, buyers, and I don't want to say that buyers are crazy for buying right now, because as we had said, if you have the cash and you really want it and it makes sense to you and you're planning on being there a while, maybe you'll get your money out. We don't know. But I think for the ones that are stressed out right now, limited cash, I don't know that you should put yourself through it right now. Save some more money is my advice. Watch and see what happens over the market over the next 6 months. Try again.
Yeah, and it's also something else to think of. When you put your offer in, there's all these, home inspections. This stuff costs money. Now you're invested. You're invested to taking the steps to be able to, have that contract progress and get to the settlement table. So it's just something, you're investing this money, you're investing this time, you're investing your heart in the home, and it can be very frustrating and disappointing. So it's just something else I wanted to bring up.
That is a very good point. And buyers, you have to realize what Melissa's talking about right here is it costs money to buy a house, even if you don't go through with the sale. So one of the things, if you're, bidding on a house and you are lucky enough or unlucky enough, who knows at this point, to get the seller to say yes to your contract, hopefully you're getting an inspection. And what that means is you're having a inspector come in the house and basically check all the major systems and let you know what you're buying, a little deeper dive into what you're buying. What happens is if you are unhappy with those inspection results and you walk away, you're still out of pocket in some cases up to $1,000 or more just to find out information about the house. I do know I have broker friends in Texas. If you live in Texas, you know what I'm talking about. If you're anywhere else in the country, it's the same for your state. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'd like to know. But what happens is in Texas, you actually offer, it's called a contingency period. So you get the contract. Let's say you have a 5-day contingency period where you will get your inspections completed within that time, determine whether you want to move forward. If you walk away, the sellers are actually paid for the contingency in certain circumstances where they may get $500 on top of what you spent already for your inspections. You may be paying the seller $500 to walk away. So guys, you want to consider all of that when you're shopping for a house. If you're interested in more on appraisals, check out last night's video. We have it queued up here at the end. And guys, we appreciate you watching. If you want to know more about real estate, we appreciate you subscribing to our channel. Hit that bell. That's going to give you alerts every time that we post. It's at least once a week. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Talk to you soon.
Sachs Realty, Maryland broker number 607720, office number 443-318-4514, equal housing opportunity.